Hey, what's up? Okay, so today we're going to talk about stressors and boredom. And boredom's going to be your worst enemy by far when you're actively drinking and when you're not drinking. It's still going to be your enemy. And I'm going to give some tips on how to deal with stressors, like while trying to get sober and like while maintaining sobriety. It's still a struggle for me, and I'm sure it's still a struggle for people that are years in. Um, okay. So it's a stress relief, right, to drink, but it inevitably makes the stress even worse the following day, right? So it's a compounding effect. You use it as self medication, and then it exacerbates the issues next day and long term. So basically, you have to constantly be filling your time with with primarily productive things or like entertainment. Especially if your entertainment is filled while being inebriated, it's going to be much harder to enjoy said entertainment, right? You have to give it time. Um, like I've mentioned these things before, but like a new game release, I'd always have to like drink and like get get drunk while playing the new game. I haven't done that this time around, and I enjoy the game and get my normal dopamine and my serotonin release just naturally instead of like needing to be inebriated, which would end up turning into a nightmare by the end of the night because I'd be blasted and out at the bar, or I'd be performing really poorly in the game. And that's just like sad. Like getting a lot of people do it. They get inebriated while gaming and like just sort of pressing to think about, right? But weekends, like I fill my weekends like throughout the week, I'm just constantly going, working out, work, trying to play guitar, and then I try to fill in some game time. I love to game, even though it's like a half hour to an hour a night sometimes. Not very lengthy. So the weekdays they just fill their own time. But the weekends, I have a lot more free time to myself, especially in the mornings. I'm still getting up at 3:30 a.m. most mornings, still drinking way too much coffee. I'm exhausted by the evenings because of it. I fill it with a lot of calisthenics and cardio, and I adjust my leg day for the weekends, and then I can get a rest day in the next day. At least like I won't have to work on Sunday, so my legs won't be all tore up while working. That keeps me active as far as working out. And then I've been making a lot more content, whether it be this type of content or like collectible. I want to make more funny skits, TikTok and YouTube shorts and stuff. And slacking on that, but just constantly staying busy. And you'll learn to being bored won't be such a trigger then. Like I still get bored, but the more productive you are, the more hobbies you have, the less of an effect the boredom will have on you. You constantly have something to do. Like I'll grab my guitar, I'll load a game up, and I can play it sober. And having ADD, I'll go from one thing to the other rather quick. Lay down and watch a documentary with my girlfriend. Still be on my phone browsing, like I'm keeping my mind occupied, even if it's impulse buying collectibles, which I don't recommend if you don't have the money for it. And never buy on credit. My rule, never build debt. But yeah, just constantly staying active. And I don't know, the boredom cravings sort of like subside a lot more the longer you're in sobriety. But off the bat, like boredom would just strike it into your mind every single bored. I just want to drink. I'm bored. I just want to drink. And I think it's because it makes you content with being bored. Like, because you're inebriated, you feel good, you're numbed out, and you don't care, right? Same with marijuana. People can smoke and just do nothing, and they're content with it. I'm not going to say it causes laziness, but it does breed that in a way. Become content with doing nothing. And perpetual cycle. Why everyone, especially in like a smaller town like I'm from, everyone's always at the bar. Always the bar. Bar, 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 bar. And in reality, it's trash, man. Like it's a lot of experiences out there. You know, I missed like house parties and stuff growing up. That was like my vibe. Like the bar was never really my go-to. Waste of money, overpriced, and like a lot of the people there are miserable too, doing the same things. But that's neither here nor there. The bar is your vibe, then whatever. It never was really my super go-to. I frequented it a lot on the weekends because that's what a lot of my friends used to do. So like clubbing was my vibe too, and it ain't so pretty when you're in your 30s. I haven't been to a club since mid-20s. They were quite fun. But anyways, I'm rambling off. Yeah, you have to stay active, and you have to like. I know it sounds cliche. You have to rewire your neurotransmitters to have like a reward system. You know, in time that dopamine will come back, that serotonin will come back. Depending on the amount of alcohol or drugs taken, it may take longer. It may take a shorter amount of time, but those happy chemicals do come back, and you'll have a reward system for like being productive, be able to enjoy things more with a flat emotional state or an elevated emotional state without being inebriated, right? And that's where you want to get, and it is vicious getting there because your brain is gonna just battle you nonstop to want to drink. But when you battle through it, it will adjust. You know, your brain chemistry will change. This coffee I'm drinking probably changing my brain chemistry, not for the better. It's the one vice I still have to kick. Once coffee's gone, I'm gonna be viceless. And that's scary too. A lot of people, they're like, oh, well, you don't have a vice. Like, I remember when I was quitting nicotine and I quit drinking, people are like, oh, it's too much. You're going to relapse because it's too much. You need a vice. You need a release. There's some truth to that, but I got through it. But I still have coffee, like caffeine. It's a drug, right? I'm supplementing it for another addiction is what I'm doing. It's a much less dangerous. I can still be productive on it, but it still is a hindrance, especially in the evenings. I'm spent, you know. I want to get that natural energy back. I might do a straight week detox here, you know, during a holiday stretch, get like 4 days out of the way and just go back to work and try to get through it and just be done with it. Hopefully I stay. I've done 3 months and a year before. And I don't know why I got back into drinking. It's great for like morning workouts and stuff. It's basically have your crash. It's not like a sugar crash. Odd. You know, there's the inhibitors in your brain, the caffeine attaches to. There's a whole science to it. And then you feel tired because your brain counters with sleepy chemical. Yeah, you have to stay active. Pick up hobbies. In time, boredom, it won't affect you as much. I'm still bored to this day, some days, but like it ain't just drink anymore, you know? More of find something to do, or, you know, and my time's so filled with work that if it's Sunday, then I'm just, you know, be right back to work Monday anyway. You don't have a now, if you don't have a job, if you're unemployed, it's much harder. I have went sober many months before, 3 or 4 months while unemployed. It's possible, but your time not as active. So that devil's playground, it's gonna be, you know, you're gonna be roaming in that playground a lot more in your head. You're not gonna be as active. My fasts are so easy into the morning because I'm just working. And on the weekends, sometimes I'll break my fast early because it'll be like 9, 10 in the morning and I'm like starving and I'm not doing anything besides like sitting at my computer. But at work, I can fast 16 to 18 hours every day. Weekends, I break. And when you're not working, you eat more. You're going to want to inebriate it more. You're going to have a lot more boredom time, which will make it harder on you. It's definitely possible. I did it. That is what it is. I'm not really going to ramble anymore. The stress, obviously you're going to be more stressed. My temper's still very short fused, while being sober, especially quitting nicotine and alcohol. A lot of people use them as stress reducers. Funny because it actually, your heart race more and blood pressure rises. It actually induces stress, but temporarily it reduces it mentally, right? And when you don't have that outlet, my stress release is the gym. But I'm also ramping up on so much caffeine. Sometimes I have a short fuse with my temper, and I'm working on that. That's another thing I have to overcome. Like not having the vices, I'm a lot quicker to just rage out, But that is what it is. That's a self-improvement thing I'm sure a lot of people can relate to. And when you quit substances, you'll get it. Like you're not going to have, it's going to be a quick reaction with anger, especially your first few months. And it's still there 7 months in. Like, not going to go. I'm not going to blame the caffeine. Like, I do drink way too much, and I think it ramps me up a bit too much, so it messes with my temper. But I'm still going to be temperamental even if I cut the caffeine. It's just something I have to work. Having that vice on the weekends, that release, and then being hungover and just like recovering sort of kept that anger at bay. I was too drained, But being go all the time now, it's just different mental state, which is good. It's just there's some small things that just really laziness and like stupidity. It just, I get triggered by it, and I shouldn't, because in 3 days it's irrelevant, and I can't control what other people do, so it's irrelevant in all honesty. And I'm working on that because those two things just bother me. And also the state of the world. Here I am, Rand. State of the world with social media and OnlyFans and people chasing clout and TikToks. A trend goes viral and 50 million people just copy it, and you just see that meme and trend just splurged out. I feel like society's going backwards, and people's attention spans are getting so short, and it's affecting me too. Like instant gratification, you want to just go swipe, and you're just addicted to that dopamine hit from your phone. You're addicted to the likes, the subscribers. People just are so obsessed with this clout, and if they can't make it, they get severely depressed, and they see all these people happy on social media, flaunting goods and being happy, being out, living extravagant lives. But in reality, it's a mask. And in reality, behind the scenes, they're miserable, mad, crappy human beings. And you have to look at that for what it is. When you see people with a lot of money, it's less than 1% of the population. You know what I mean? You're seeing like a very minute amount of the population, but it's everywhere online. So people think, oh my God, that's how my life should be. Depression, people drink more, people substance abuse more from it. Social media is terrible, but it's a fallacy. It's not real. And the people that do have the money aren't even happy to begin with. They might act like they are. Some may be. Like a lot of people that are poor are happy. There's a lot of people that have money that are just miserable. You could probably point out many men who work in the oil field that are much happier than anyone that are multimillionaires. Yeah, they have money because they work 70-hour work weeks and stuff. That's neither here nor there, but like children growing up are just, that's all they see on their phones and on their computers. And it's just like, they expect that's how life should be, and it's not. And pre-1995, you weren't exposed to that. Like even when I was playing Diablo 1 at 11 on a 200 megahertz computer, social media didn't exist like that. YouTube didn't exist till around circa 2006. You know what I mean? Like there was a good half decade there where social media had no bearing on people, and it was great. You didn't have, you knew there were wealthy people, but it wasn't flaunted all over Instagram and all these fake clout chasing Instagram models that have no talent in real life. These girls that chase clout, and some of them get it, and they have the IQ of 90, 80. They have no talent. They just look good. And then you have simps that hate their life that just follow them and give them money. It's just this perpetual, it's pathetic is what it is, because you take these people that are influencers and content creators and you put them pre-2000, they would be struggling at life. And that is just fact. Say what you want to say. They would probably find their way because humans are resilient and they find a way either way. But the easy road of social media, I just can't believe this, and I can't believe people watch these people and support them. And there's some people that are downright just atrocious to their fans, and the fans just still return, give them views, give them ad revenue. Now I'm going off on a whole other topic, which needs to be addressed too, with drinking, because a lot of people have we're going to make a video on this. It's going to sound the same as like stigma depression due to social media. They're trying to escape because their life isn't as well as what other people's are portrayed, right? And you have to get it through your head that it's less than 1% of the people. You know what I mean? It's not like 9 out of 10 people have mansions and Ferraris and all these exotic things. It just isn't the way it is. I think it's like 9 out of 10 people in the United States have less than $500,000 in their bank account. That's a staggering fact. 1% of the population has 99% of the world's wealth. So it's commonplace to not be a multimillionaire. That'll be a whole other video. And yeah, this rambling went on too much. We covered the topic, and I'm like 7 minutes past where I should have been. Apologize for that.